Have you ever walked into a room and felt an immediate shift in the energy? Have you ever noticed that men say they want a strong, independent, authentic woman, right up until they actually meet one? Society tells women that to be loved, they must be easygoing, they must be adaptable, they must shrink their personalities, silence their intuition, and lower their standards so they don't seem too intimidating. But Carl Jung, one of the most brilliant psychological minds in history, revealed a much darker truth about human connection. He taught that when a woman fully embodies her unique essence, when she stops playing the game of validation and starts living completely unapologetically, she radiates a frequency that is both deeply intoxicating and profoundly terrifying. Today, we are going to explore the psychology of the intimidating woman. We are going to uncover why your self-awareness actually triggers a crisis in the male nervous system. I will explain the exact reason why men pull away when they realize you are not like the others. And by the end of this video, you will understand why you must never, ever lower your standards to keep a man, and the one psychological shift you must make to become the woman he simply cannot forget. Now, to understand why your presence terrifies him, we must look at a concept Carl Jung called the shadow. The shadow is the hidden, unconscious part of our personality. It contains all the insecurities, fears, and suppressed emotions that a person refuses to acknowledge. Most men navigate the modern dating world wearing a mask. They use charm, money, or emotional distance to keep women at a safe arm's length. They're used to interacting with women who are also wearing masks, women who are anxious, seeking approval, and easy to manipulate. But then he meets you, a woman deeply rooted in her dark feminine energy, a woman who knows exactly who she is and what she deserves. When you look at him, you don't just see the mask, you see right through it. You don't realize it, but your authenticity acts as a psychological mirror. When he is around you, he is forced to look at his own shadow. Your confidence highlights his insecurities. Your emotional depth highlights his emotional unavailability. Your fierce independence highlights his desperate need for control. He isn't pulling away because you did something wrong. He is pulling away because standing next to you forces him to realize that he is not the evolved man he pretends to be. You require him to step up, and that requirement is terrifying. This leads us to the second psychological trigger, the absolute loss of control. From a very young age, masculine psychology is wired around the concept of conquering and controlling outcomes. In standard relationships, a man feels secure when he knows he has the upper hand. He feels safe when he knows a woman is waiting by the phone, overanalyzing his texts, and desperate for his commitment. That anxiety feeds his ego. But an independent, authentic woman completely shatters this framework. When you don't chase him, when you don't send paragraphs of text asking where he is, when you are perfectly content sitting in silence and focusing on your own life, his usual strategies of manipulation fail entirely. You become unpredictable to him. He realizes that he cannot control your emotional state. He realizes that you are with him because you choose to be, not because you need to be. And the moment a man realizes a woman does not need him to survive, he faces a terrifying paradox. He must now earn his place in your life purely through his character and his actions. For a man who relies on games, this loss of control feels like emotional suffocation. So he runs. When a man pulls away because he is intimidated by your energy, your initial instinct might be to soften yourself. You might think, maybe I was too harsh. Maybe I should reach out and show him I care. Maybe I should lower my boundaries just a little bit. This is the exact moment you lose your power. You must understand that your intimidating nature is not a flaw. It is a highly evolved filtration system. The tension he feels between his intense attraction to you and his deep fear of you forces a choice. It forces a separation between the unevolved boy and the mature masculine man. An unevolved man will feel the heat of your mirror, panic, and retreat back to a woman who asks less of him. He will find someone who allows him to stay comfortable in his mediocrity. But a mature man, a man who has faced his own shadow, will feel that exact same fear and step into it. He will see your independence not as a threat, but as an inspiration. He will be drawn to the fact that you challenge him to be the best version of himself. You do not want a man who requires you to be small so he can feel big. You want a man who sees your fire and decides to walk through it. So, how do you handle the man who runs? You do absolutely nothing. You do not chase him into the dark. You do not try to explain your worth to someone who is actively choosing to not see it. You anchor yourself in your dark feminine energy. You become completely unbothered. When he goes silent, you let him. You let him sit with the absolute void of your absence, because eventually, the comfort of his safe, easy life will start to feel remarkably hollow. He will realize that no other woman makes him feel the way you did. He will realize that the very thing that terrified him is the only thing he truly wants. But when he comes back, and they always come back, you must be ready. You cannot let him return on his old terms. You must know exactly how to communicate your standard without negotiating your worth. So, you have anchored yourself in your dark feminine energy, and you are letting him sit in the absolute void of your absence. But what exactly happens next? There is a highly predictable psychological trigger that guarantees a man will return the exact moment you finally stop caring. It is a psychological phenomenon known as the flame and the moth. I explain exactly why men always come back when you do this, and how to use the power of silence to make him realize what he lost in the video currently on your screen. Click on it right now and let's explore the ultimate shift in the power dynamic. I will see you over there.